Well, welcome to my first real video that I'm posting on my channel. The odds are that this won't be the first video you watch, but I'll always say in every video, be sure you go watch my introduction just so you can hear a little bit about myself, where I'm coming from, and why you should listen to anything I have to say. Today, though, I'm going to start with the 4 pillars of online dating, and really 4 things that I wish I knew before I got into it. All right, and I'm going to try to put some cool graphics right here. As I make more videos, I'm sure I'll learn even better, but let me give you the 4 things that you need to know before you get in or as you're going through online dating. And number 1 is very important, and that is you cannot be afraid to fail. You are going to fail. Do you hear me? I have failed so much. And sometimes, but failure is different than it used to be. What you see as failing may not be exactly what I'm talking about. But let me give you some analogies. I'm a huge sports guy. In fact, I have another channel that I won't advertise on here, but it's a sports channel. It's a football channel. So let's use a sports analogy. In order to be a good quarterback, you probably have to complete 60 to 70% of your passes, right? To be a good shooter in basketball, 50%. To be a good free throw shooter in basketball, probably 75 to 80% or more. Baseball requires less success because of how hard it is to hit a ball. But if you hit a baseball 30% of the time, you're probably a Hall of Famer if you do that for many seasons in a row. But in the online dating world, the standard is way lower, guys. It is, if you are successful 1% of the time, 1 out of 100, then you're successful. If you're successful 1 out of 200, 5 out of 1,000, whatever it might be, then you're still successful. You just got to find that one. Okay, so that is, to me, the most important thing to realize. Don't be afraid to fail. And when you do fail, don't worry about it. And I'll talk later in another video about what failing means, but it's not that big of a deal. Don't be afraid of it. Number 2, when I said you'll have success, you need to define what that is. What is your goal here? All right. Why are you in the dating world? There's many, many reasons. An example could be to find that one. You want to find the woman you're going to marry, or in my case, the second woman you're going to marry, and hopefully your life partner. That could be a reason. You could be looking for, a girlfriend. So, somebody just to be with, short term, long term, and see where it goes. That's very possible. You could be looking for a hookup, and be careful there. I'm not encouraging that. But that could be a reason. I'm sure guys do that. And I say that for 2 reasons. One, you need to know that for yourself, kind of like you have a mission statement, what you're trying to accomplish. So how you determine success or not, that 1 out of 100. But also, you're going to be asked by a woman or in your profile to explain what it is you're looking for. And you need to have that worded correctly. So if you are looking for a hookup, for example, you don't say that. You say the truth, but you say it in much more careful words, okay? You say, I am just getting back out there, and I hope, and I am looking to meet new people, and I'm looking to have fun and see where things go. And some women still won't like that, but you'll never meet anybody. Even a girl who wants to hook up will not respond to, I want to hook up. If that girl's out there, I haven't met her, I don't think she exists. If you are looking for a girlfriend, say that. But word it more fancy. It's not cheating, by the way, to let AI help you. ChatGPT has helped me a time or 2. It's never been quite right. I've always changed the wording a little bit, and I'll get into that later. It's another video I'll do about how to word things, because wording is important. But if you're looking for a girlfriend, say that. Hey, I'm looking for that girl to spend some time with, get to know. I'm looking for that girl that somebody I can spoil her, make her feel like a princess. Say those things, okay? But you got to have that already planned out in your mission statement. Or you can say, hey, I'm looking for the one. And if you say that, you got to be careful on both ends, because the one might scare some women away. But you say, well, my mission statement, which is true, is I say, I'm getting back out there. Eventually, I want to meet the one, and I'm trying to find out who she is, but I'm not in a rush. I say something like that most of the time. You'll get a feel from the other person as well, what their vibe is pretty quickly. You always need to be alert for their vibe, and you don't want to tell them what they want to hear, but you do want to tailor your wording to help. So that's number 2. Number 3, beware of scammers. As a single man who is over 40, women assume that I can be the SD, the sugar daddy. And the truth is, I'm not wealthy enough to do that anyway. But if something appears to be too good to be true, if somebody who looks just like Sydney Sweeney in her perfectly manicured photos says something to you about how she can't wait to meet you, you 45-year-old guy with a receding hairline and who's a little bit overweight and is divorced, it's probably not true. So be aware of scammers. Yes, you want to meet people and you want to be kind and honest, but you've also got to be on the lookout. Anybody that wants you to go to another app that's not texting is probably scamming you. If they want you to go to Snapchat, they're probably wanting you to sign up for something that you don't want to sign up for. Maybe you do, but I would not recommend it. If they want you to go to Telegram, same thing. WhatsApp is a no. When I was really naive, a woman who was traveling back and forth from my town to San Francisco, we had a several week-long conversation on WhatsApp because I was too stupid. Turned out she wasn't even a real person. She was a bot. And she was trying to get me to invest in crypto. And I was too dumb to realize it. So pretty embarrassing for me. So yes, be on the alert for scammers, okay? That's number 3. And number 4 is you have to find a way to stand out. And like we've established, probably, it's not gonna be your amazing good looks. You know, I think I can be handsome, but I'm not Brad Pitt or Bradley Cooper or the young guy, Twister, anyway, whatever his name is. I'm none of those guys. If I was, I wouldn't need these dating apps. We'll get into that, what I've discovered that women, and I have a pretty good reference for what women really want, but you have to stand out somehow. So some examples of what not to do to stand out, first of all. So I've also gone beyond the dating apps and just kind of reach out to people on Facebook. And you gotta be careful about that. Some people don't like that. Be careful about it, but you can be respectful. But if there's a beautiful woman who is posted and she lives in your area and you have things in common, that's great. But if she posts a picture of herself and she's gorgeous and everyone says, you're so hot, you're so gorgeous, so beautiful, so amazing, you saying that in the same place isn't gonna do anything. It's not gonna make you stand apart in the slightest way. You can try to be a little wittier, okay? Come up with something a little different maybe. That's fine, okay? And that's also true. It doesn't have to be Facebook. It could be any dating app. It could be, and let me just tell you, swiping on its own is not gonna be enough. Swiping right, which means you approve or you like her, you're gonna have to send a message of some kind, all right? You've got to stand out. So some things to do is a witty comment, okay? Witty and cute. You've got to ask a question. You've got to start a conversation. So pay attention to their profile or the pictures that they post and start some sort of conversation so they can have something to respond to. And even if maybe they're not that interested in you at first, maybe that gets you in the door. The goal is to get, beyond the big goal, the short-term goal is to get in the door. And witty, funny, girls they'll say that they love, tell me a good dad joke. I've seen that dozens of times, but I've told dad jokes and never really got much of a response. Again, it's all hit and miss, but you have to stand out. And swiping does not stand out. Saying you're beautiful to a beautiful girl who hears it 1,000 times does not stand out. Okay, you've got to find something else. I'll even show you another time that I do have a couple. I have in my notes on my phone, I have some go-to phrases that are very unique, and I do tether them to different people. But I do have a few things that I copy and paste into the comments, into DMs and stuff like that. But that's a great starting point though. If you can know those 4 things, and let's review them. Don't be afraid to fail. Set a goal. Know what your goal is. Be able to say it in a very positive way. Number 3, beware of scammers. And number 4, find a way to stand out. That will put you on a path to success. And maybe you can find that 1 out of 100 Maybe it's 1 out of 2, who knows? But I wish you good luck out there. I love comments, I love discussion, all the stuff, like, subscribe, get the word out. I'm trying to build this channel. I think it'll be fun. Peace.